Let me ask you something real. When's the last time someone felt better because of you? Not impressed, not intimidated, not motivated by your grind, but genuinely better. Because here's the hard truth most people miss. Your strength isn't measured by how much you carry. It's measured by how safe people feel around you. See, we live in a world that tells you to isolate, to grind in silence, to prove your worth through income, titles, quote unquote, doing it all on your own. But that's not strength. That's fear. That's ego dressed up as independence. And today, I want to tell you a story that reminded me of the truth. Welcome back to Hard Truths, where we challenge the mindset myths, call out the ego games, and bring you back to what actually matters. So let me tell you about something that happened today. Simple, but it stuck with me. My fiance's mom is divorced, single income, works constantly, like overtime, almost every week, levels of nonstop hustle. And that hit me. Because see, my own mom, it's the same thing. Every day, waking up at 9 a.m., going to work till 11 p.m., getting a couple hours to herself, and then doing the same thing again. She still does it to today. See, when you grow up without financial stability, especially as a single parent, you carry that fear in your bones. You never stop working. And this woman, she's quiet. She's reserved. She's always home or she's always working. She doesn't complain and she doesn't ask for much. But you can feel it, that weight on her shoulders. So today, for once, she didn't have to work the weekend. And I told my fiance, let's take her out. Let's give her a breath. Nothing fancy. There was a new Asian market that just opened. So we invited her. She said yes, which I was ecstatic. And also it honestly surprised me. But when we got there, man, she lit up. She was walking around with energy I hadn't seen in her before. Smiling, browsing, picking up things she wouldn't normally. Like she was letting herself enjoy something again. Like she could breathe. And in that moment, I felt something shift. Because yeah, I want to be successful. I want to provide for my family. I want to leave behind something that matters. But the truth is, none of that means anything if the people around you don't feel better because I exist. See, that's legacy. That's leadership. That's strength. Now, here's where we do zoom out. See, we live in a culture that celebrates the lone wolf mentality. Self-made, self-reliant, don't ask for help, don't need nobody. And especially as men, we're taught that our job is to carry it all, to protect, to provide, to fix. But nobody tells you that the strongest thing you'll ever do is make someone feel safe enough to breathe again. See, we've twisted strength into solitude. We've glorified grind in isolation. We've convinced ourselves that if we're not doing it all alone, we're not doing it right. But that's not leadership. That's emotional bankruptcy. Because real strength is in your ability to hold space, to show up, to make people feel lighter just by being around you. So let's talk about what's happening neurologically when you serve others. This isn't just emotional, it's biochemical. So when you engage in what's called prosocial behavior, that's when you do something that benefits someone else without expecting anything in return. Your brain releases a powerful cocktail of feel-good chemicals. Think dopamine, which reinforces the behavior as reward. Oxytocin, which strengthens your emotional bond and trust. Serotonin, which boosts your overall mood and well-being. So helping someone, it doesn't drain you. It restores you. It's not weakness, it's resilience training. And studies show that people who regularly give, whether it's time, attention, or emotional presence report higher levels of happiness, lower levels of stress, and even live longer. So, yeah, serving someone, being present, making someone feel seen, that's not a distraction from your purpose. It is your purpose. Now I know, for some people, this feels soft. I get it. Like caring too much is weakness. Like presence is nice, but progress is what really matters. But let me challenge that. The resistance you feel, that pull to be distant, tough, unmoved, that's not strength. That's protection. See, somewhere along the way, you learned that love equals loss, that connection equals vulnerability, that to be strong, you had to need nothing and no one. But here's the hard truth. If your success only benefits you, it's not legacy, it's ego. You can be a provider and still be emotionally present. You can be a leader and still be soft enough to care. You can be powerful and still know when to slow down and make someone feel seen. And when you do, that's not weakness, that's impact. So I sat with that moment today, in that supermarket, watching her shop, and I realized this is the work. It's not just about big moves, the business, the brand, the podcast. It's about these small moments where someone who's been surviving finally feels light again, where someone who's been overlooked finally feels seen. And I made a decision right there. I'm doubling down on presence, on being someone who doesn't just grind in silence, but gives people oxygen through how I show up. Because the strongest people I know, they don't just carry weight, they lift others. So let me ask you this. Who feels better because you're in their life? Not who respects your hustle. Not who's impressed with what you're building. But who feels seen? Who feels lighter? Who feels like they can finally exhale just because you showed up? Because if the answer is no one, then maybe it's time to redefine what strength really means. You weren't built to go at it alone. You weren't built just to grind. You were built to connect, to care, to create safety in a world that constantly steals it. So here's your challenge. This week, make someone feel seen. Give them a breath. Make space. Not because you need credit, but because that's what legacy feels like. And when you do, tag me at DannyLyvin, DannyLyvin. I want to hear what kind of impact you're making. Shoot me a message. Tell me what part of this hit you. I read everything. And hey, thank you for listening. It means a lot that you keep showing up here with me. I don't take that lightly. This is Hard Truths, where we stop proving ourselves and start pouring into the people who need us most. Because real power isn't in what you build, it's in who you build up. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.